Welcome to Day 2 of Sacred Worth, Finding Identity in Perfect Love. Yesterday, we discovered our identity as God's chosen children. Today, we'll explore how His perfect love transforms our relationship with fear. Our key scripture is 1 John 4:18, which tells us that perfect love casts out fear. Imagine you're learning to swim. At first, the water might seem scary. It's deep, it's unknown, and you can't control it completely. But when you have a trusted instructor right there with you, holding you up, showing you how to move, that fear starts to fade. God's perfect love works in a similar way. Perfect love isn't like the love we usually experience in our daily lives. Human love, though beautiful, can be conditional or change over time. Maybe you've experienced this, getting more attention when you succeed, or feeling less loved when you make mistakes. But God's perfect love is different. It's like the sun. It doesn't shine more on good days or less on bad days. It just shines, constantly and completely. Think about a time when you felt absolutely safe, maybe in a parent's arms as a child, or wrapped in a warm blanket during a storm. That feeling of complete security, that's just a glimpse of what God's perfect love offers. It's not just a feeling, though. It's a reality that's always true, whether we feel it or not. When we really understand this kind of love that never fails, never gives up, and never runs out, something amazing happens. The fears that usually control us start to lose their power. It's like turning on a light in a dark room. The darkness simply can't stay where the light is. Let's talk about the labels fear tries to put on us. You know those voices in your head that say things like, "You're not good enough," "You'll never change," or "No one really cares about you." Those are fear's fake ID cards, and today we're going to learn how to spot them and replace them with truth. Fear is like a bully who hands out name tags with lies written on them. Maybe you've worn some of these tags: the failure, the disappointment, the outsider, the broken one. These labels can feel so real that we start believing they're actually part of who we are. But here's the amazing truth. God's perfect love gives us new name tags. Think about your favorite superhero movie when the hero discovers their true identity. Everything they thought about themselves changes in that moment. That's what happens when we let God's perfect love reveal who we really are. The failure label gets replaced with overcomer. Disappointment becomes delight. Outsider transforms into chosen. Broken changes to being restored. This isn't just positive thinking or trying to feel better about ourselves. This is about discovering our true identity in perfect love. It's like finally seeing yourself in a clear mirror after looking through a foggy one your whole life. The fog of fear distorted how you saw yourself, but perfect love shows you clearly. So how do we actually live in this perfect love that casts out fear? Let's make it practical. Think of it like learning to play a new instrument. It takes practice, patience, and lots of small daily choices. First, we need to recognize fear's voice when it speaks. Fear usually starts with, "What if? What if I fail? What if they reject me? What if I'm not enough?" Perfect love answers these questions with, "Even if." Even if you fail, you're still loved. Even if others reject you, you're still chosen. Even if you feel not enough, you are complete in God's love. When fear shows up, and it will, treat it like a pop-up ad, not a news headline. Pop-up ads can be annoying, but we don't have to click on them or believe what they're selling. The same goes for fearful thoughts. Instead of engaging with the fear, turn your attention to God's love. It's like changing the channel from a horror movie to a beautiful sunset. Here's something practical you can do. Create a perfect love playlist. Not an actual music playlist, though that's a great idea too, but a collection of truths about God's love for you. When fear says you're alone, your playlist says, God will never leave you. When fear whispers, you're worthless, your playlist declares, you're precious and honored in God's sight. Let's end today with a powerful exercise in replacing fear with love. Find a quiet space and take 3 deep breaths. As you breathe in, imagine breathing in God's perfect love. As you breathe out, picture yourself releasing fear. Now, take out a piece of paper and draw a line down the middle. On the left side, write down your current fears. Be honest. No fear is too small or too big. On the right side, we're going to write truth statements from God's perfect love that directly answer each fear. For example, fear, I'm not good enough. Truth, I'm completely loved and accepted as I am. Fear, I'll always be alone. Truth, I'm never alone. God is always with me. Take your time with this. Let God's perfect love speak directly to each fear you've written down. Remember, we're not pretending the fears don't exist. We're letting perfect love be bigger than our fears. We're going to declare powerful truths about God's perfect love and its power over fear. These aren't just words. They're declarations of freedom that align with who God says you are. Let these truths wash over you like waves of peace. Find a comfortable position and take 3 deep breaths. As I speak each truth, allow it to sink deep into your spirit. You can repeat them silently or softly aloud. Perfect love surrounds me, leaving no room for fear. I am held secure in God's unchanging love. God's love is my shield against every fear. No storm can shake me when I'm anchored in divine love. I choose love over fear in every moment. Now, I invite you to identify one fear that's been weighing on your heart. As you bring it to mind, let's counter it with the truth of God's perfect love. Take a moment to speak this truth over your specific fear. God's perfect love is greater than my fear of. Let's make these truths practical for your daily life. Here's how to carry them with you. When anxiety rises, declare, perfect love casts out all fear. When uncertainty looms, remind yourself, I am securely held in God's unchanging love. When worry threatens, speak truth. God's love surrounds and protects me. Let's speak one final declaration together. Take a deep breath and with conviction, declare, I am completely loved, totally protected, and forever secure in God's perfect love. Remember, these aren't just beautiful words. They're eternal truths about who you are and whose you are. Let them be your anchor when fear tries to speak. Carry these truths with you today. When fear tries to speak, let perfect love answer. Tomorrow, we'll explore more about living in the freedom of God's love. Until then, remember, you are perfectly loved by a perfect Father.